Hi guys, welcome to another video by Darklink Does Math. The content in this video is geared towards 6th grade math standards. These videos are public so that my students may access this information easily, as well as anyone else looking for math help. I hope you find this video helpful. If you do not, I hope you can find what you are looking for elsewhere. There's a lot of information out there. Be aware that I'm not perfect, so there may be the occasional mistake. I apologize in advance if this should happen. So today we're going over 8.3 equations, specifically how to write an algebraic equation based off of a word problem and solve it. So we're just going to jump right in. Our directions are to write an algebraic equation, so that's step 1, and then solve, so step 2. So there are specifically 2 things we have to answer. Our first example says Hugo bought some stamps. His father gave him 12 more stamps, and he had 27 stamps in all. How many stamps did Hugo buy? So our directions specifically state write an algebraic equation. So we're going to essentially match the story and translate it into an equation. And then we're going to solve it and then answer it. So we have to first think, what do we not know? We specifically don't know how many stamps he had. It said Hugo bought some stamps. So our first step is to decide what that's going to be. So we're going to let the number of stamps be x. So again, let x be the number of stamps that Hugo has. All right, his father gave him 12 more. Again, think of your keywords. More means you're going to add. Also, it says he had 27 stamps in all, so it's implying that we're finding a total. How much more? 12. So we're going to be adding 12 somewhere in there, and he's going to end up with 27. So there's a couple different approaches you can take. If it's very straightforward like this, I usually like to summarize a story and then translate it into our equation. So that's what I'm going to do. So first, Hugo bought stamps. Second, he got 12 more. And third, he had 27 in all. All right, I'm going to slowly start translating that into our algebraic equation. So Hugo bought some stamps. How many stamps did he have? We don't know, so that's why we chose x. Next, he got 12 more. As we stated earlier, 12 more means you're going to add 12. And then he had is specifically going to be or representative of our equal sign. And what did he have? He had 27 in all. All right, so this equation should essentially tell the story. So Hugo bought some stamps, he got 12 more from his father, and then he had 27 in all. So that's our first answer. It said write an algebraic equation. So our algebraic equation is x plus 12 equals 27. I'm going to box it, and I'm not going to solve it. I'm going to leave that all nice and pretty right there. All right, second, solve. So again, I'm not going to touch that. That's one of my answers. So leave it alone. So I'm going to write my equation again, and then I'm going to solve it. So I want to isolate the variable or get it all by itself, so the 12 needs to go away. They're adding the 12, so you're going to subtract 12, and you're going to do it to both sides. The 12s cancel, leaving you with x equals 27 minus 12 is going to be 15. Now, don't just assume 15 is going to be your answer. So let's check. X represents the number of stamps. So I just found out the number of stamps is 15. Is that what I wanted to know? How many stamps did Hugo buy? Yes, that's representative of what I want. So yes, I'm going to use this as my answer. Never assume that it's going to be. So second, I solved it, and I'm going to answer it. How many stamps did Hugo buy? Hugo bought 27, sorry, not 27, 15 stamps. So we have our second answer. So you'll notice we have three specific things. First, we have our equation. Second, we have our work shown to solve that equation separately. And then third, we have our second main answer. All right, our next example. Alvin baked some muffins. After selling 72, he had 36 left. How many muffins did he bake? So let's decide, what do I not know? Well, it says Alvin baked some muffins. How many muffins? We don't know. So that's the thing we don't know. So we're going to let capital M stand for muffins, or be muffins. So let capital M be muffins. Okay, this is a very straightforward, linear type story. So I'm going to write it kind of like it says. I'm going to summarize it. So he baked muffins. He sold 72. He had 36 left. All right, now I'm going to translate that into our equation. So he baked muffins. How many muffins? We don't know. So that's why we chose capital M. He sold 72. Now be careful with the word sell. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to subtract. However, in this case, we look at the rest of the story and it says he's going to have 36 left, meaning a remainder. So because of this word right there, it means our context is going to be subtraction. And I'll show you an example later where you're not going to have any subtraction in your equation, even though it has the word sold. Okay, so in this context, yes, sold 72 means he's going to subtract 72. He had is representative of our equal sign. And what did he have left? He had 36 left. So he baked some muffins, he sold 72, and had 36 remaining or left. So that's our first answer. Our equation is capital M minus 72 equals 36. Let's box it and leave it alone. All right, second, we need to solve and answer our question. So again, leave that one alone. Let's write it again. M minus 72 equals 36. Our objective is to get M by itself, so I need to get rid of the 72. They're subtracting, so you're going to add. And you're going to add 72 to both sides. The 72's cancel, leaving you with M equals, let's see, 30 plus 70 is 100, 6 plus 2 is 8, so that's going to be 108. All right, M stands for muffins, so I have the number of muffins is 108. Is that what I want to answer? It says, how many muffins did he bake? Yes, so this is going to be my answer. So, how many muffins did he bake? Alvin baked, answer's right there, 108 muffins. Again, don't always assume this is going to be your answer. Always check first. And I will show you an example of where it's not going to be your answer, and you have to do extra work. All right, third example. Stacy saved some dimes. Leo, however, saved 3 times as many as Stacy. Leo saved a total of 72 dimes. How many did Stacy save? So, first, what do I not know? Well, it says Stacy saved some dimes. I don't know how many dimes. So we're going to let capital D be dimes. All right. Now, instead of summarizing the whole thing, I noticed that this doesn't really fit with the story. And I also noticed something right here. It says Leo saved this. Leo saved this. It's repeating Leo. So Leo is representing, or is going to be represented on both sides of our equal signs. So I'm just going to summarize this part because it does have Stacy in there. I'm going to leave that part out. So I have Leo saved 3 times Stacy, and then Leo saved 72. So, because I have Leo saved, the middle right here, that's going to be our equal. This is going to equal this because it's all about Leo. So what did Leo save? Leo saved 72. Now I'm going to essentially answer it again. What did Leo save? Leo saved 3 times Stacy. So 3 is very straightforward. Times is again very straightforward. Times. Stacy, what did Stacy save? Stacy saved sometimes. We said let D, capital D, be the dimes. So Leo saved 3 times D. Leo saved 72. What is 3 times D? 3D. So first answer our equation. Our equation is 3D equals 72. First answer done. Leave it alone. That's your answer. Don't touch it. All right. Next, let's solve it and find what D equals. So write your equation again. 3D equals 72. I want to isolate D and get it all by itself. So 3 needs to go away. We're multiplying by 3. So the opposite would be divide by 3. Do it to both sides. The 3's cancel over here, leaving you with D equals 72 divided by 3 is going to be 24. So I have the number of dimes, and again, this was for Stacy, is 24. Is that what I wanted to answer? How many did Stacy save? Yes. So this is going to be my answer for part 2. How many did Stacy save? Stacy saved 24 dimes. Now, I keep saying that you shouldn't assume that this is going to be your answer. An example of that might be, what if the question did not say, how many did Stacy save? And it said, how many more dimes did Leo save than Stacy? Well, I would have done everything the same and Stacy got 24 dimes, but 24 would not have been my answer. I would have had to take 72, subtract 24, and I would have gotten, I think, 48. Let me make sure that's correct. Yes, 48. So if the question had said, how many more did Leo save? My answer would have been, Leo saved 48 more dimes than Stacy. So again, just because you solve for the letter that was in your equation that you made, doesn't mean that's going to be your answer for the primary question. You should always double check and be sure. All right, our next one. Grace had some savings. Look at her saving. Oh, she donated. She's even better. So she donated 1/5 of her savings to a charity. Oh, she donated $60. How much was in her savings? So what do we not know? It said Grace had some savings. I don't know how much money was in her savings. So I'm going to let capital M for money be savings. So let capital M be her savings. Okay. Again, I'm going to leave this part off and focus on this part. Why? Because it repeats itself, just like the previous question said. She donated 1/5 of her savings. She donated $60. So this is all about what she donated. Donated is going to be on both sides of our equation. So she donated 1/5 of savings. She donated $60. And the savings part is in there. So that's why I did not need to write Grace had some savings. It's pointless. All right. So because it's both sides about what she donated. The middle is right there. That's our equal signs, or equal sign, not plural. All right, what did she donate? She donated 60 bucks. What did she donate? She donated 1/5 of, means multiply, her savings. How much was in her savings? That's what we didn't know. So we chose capital M to be that. So she donated 1/5 of her savings. So 1/5 times capital M. And what was that equal to? 60 bucks. So first, our equation that we came up to match this story is 1/5 M equals 60. Let's box it, leave it alone. That's our answer. All right, now let's show our work separate from our answer. 1/5 M equals 60. I want to isolate and get M all by itself. So we're multiplying, they're multiplying by 1/5. So we're going to divide by 1/5 on both sides. The 1/5s cancel, leaving you with M equals 60 divided by 1/5. Pretty sure it's 300. And we get 300. All right, what does M stand for? M stands for the amount of money in her savings. So I get the amount of money in her savings was $300. Is that what the question wants to know? How much was her savings? Absolutely. So this is going to be put in my answer. Grace had $300 in her savings. Again, don't assume that that's going to be your final answer. The question could have said, how much will Grace have in her savings after she donates the $60? So meaning I would have had to take that 300, subtract 60. All right, next example. All right, Percy has a total of 49 animals. Some are cows, some are goats. So there are two things I don't know. I don't know how many cows, and I don't know how many goats. The ratio of the number of cows to goats is 2 to 5. How many more goats than cows are there? So first, you'll realize there are multiple things we don't know. So I'm not going to choose any letters yet because I don't know what the main thing I don't know is. So let's start with our ratio. The ratio of cows to goats is 2 to 5. I'm going to draw a simple little bar model so I can see what's going on. So cows to goats, 2 to 5. That does not mean there are 2 goats and 5 cows. Or sorry, 2 cows and 5 goats. Because I know it's 49 animals. Obviously, that's not 49, is it? So, what does this mean? Remember from previous lessons, these little boxes stand for unit. So, this is 1 unit, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units total. So cows have 2 units, goats have 5 units. Each unit represents a certain number of animals. And that's the thing I don't know. I don't know what each unit is. So we don't know what each unit is. That's the thing we don't know. So we're going to let U be for unit. All right, let's finish our picture. So cows to goats, 2 units to 5 units. And I know there's a total of 49 animals. Now, this essentially is my equation right there. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units. This bracket right there is saying all of this is equal to that. So that is going to be further translated into my equation. Again, let units be u, or u be units. So 7 units is going to be essentially 7 times u, or 7u. Equal stays there, and 49 stays there. So our first answer, our equation is 7u equals 49. Leave that alone. That's your answer. All right, let's solve the equation and find out what u is. So 7u equals 49. I want u by itself. So they're multiplying by 7. You divide by 7 on both sides. 7's cancel, leaving you with u equals 49 divided by 7 is 7. So u equals 7. Is that my answer? No. It says, how many more goats than cows are there? I still don't even know how many goats there are. I don't even know how many cows there are. So there's a couple different ways you can do it. There is a shortcut, but I'm not going to do the shortcut. I'm going to focus on how many cows there are first. So cows. There are 2 units. And I know each unit is 7 each. So I'm going to take 2 times 7, and I'm going to get 14 cows. Again, 2 units, 1 u is 7. So all of these units is going to be 7. Because I found that right there. So I'll just draw a little arrow telling you what we figured out. So each one's going to be 7. Okay, let's find goats. Goats, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units at 7 each. That's going to be 35 goats. Now, the question says, how many more goats than cows are there? So, if there's 35 goats and 14 cows, we're going to subtract them and get 21. And that is going to be our answer. So there are 21 more goats, not gats. Dear Lord, I can't spell. Need my whiteout. There, that's better. There are 21 more goats than cows. Now, I mentioned there was a shortcut. So I'm just going to jot down, be aware of shortcut, so you'll remember that there was one. I'm not going to write it, so if you want to know what it is, you just got to listen and pay attention. So what is a shortcut? It said, how many more goats than cows are there? Once I got to this point right here and found u is 7, all I need to do is look at my picture. It says, how many more goats than cows are there? Well, there's 3 more units. So essentially all I had to do is say, what's 7 times 3? I get 21. So there are 21 more goats than cows. That is your shortcut. So if you took the time to draw this bar model, it's going to help you out in the end. Otherwise, there's still this foolproof method of finding out how many cows, finding out how many goats, and subtracting it. Okay, last example. Says, Ash sold 2/9 of his Pokemon cards, and 35 cards were left. How many Pokemon cards did Ash have originally? So first, what do I not know? It's very clear. We don't know how many Pokemon cards he had. So we're going to let capital P be Pokemon cards. All right. Now, this question is a slight trick. It has the word sold. So I might be thinking, oh, I'm going to subtract 2/9 and it's going to equal 35. No. I need to realize that if he sold 2/9 of his Pokemon cards, That means he's got 7/9 of his cards left. And since it says there were 35 cards left, that it's essentially giving me two things that are equal to each other, just like our previous examples of where it stated things like she donated 1/5 of savings. She donated $60. Leo saved 3 times Stacy. Leo saved 72. So it's repeating itself in a way. So, important to note, if he sold 2/9, he has 7/9 left. How do I get that? Well, one whole set of cards, he sells 2/9, and you're going to get 7/9 left. So, very important side note. So, now back to our question. If he's got 7/9 of his cards left, and he's got 35 cards left, that is what our equation is about. What he's got left, not about what he's selling. So, we're going to jot that down. He has 7/9 of his cards left. He's got 35 cards left. So again, it's about what he's got left. And we need to realize that. All right, let's translate this. Since it's both about what he's got left, this is the middle of our equation. So our equal sign is going to go right there. What does he have left? He's got 35 left. What does he have left? He has 7/9 of, which means multiply, his cards. How many cards did he have? We said capital P would be the number of Pokemon cards. So 7/9 of his cards are left. 35 are left. So first answer, our equation is going to be 7/9 P equals 35. Notice, no subtraction anywhere in there, even though it has the word sold. Technically, that is going to be right there. You have to realize that if he's got 35 cards left and he sells 2/9 of his cards, he's got one whole set, take away the 2/9, that's what he's got left. Okay, so that's our first answer. Let's box it and leave it alone. Let's solve for P, the number of Pokemon cards. So 7/9 P equals 35. I want to isolate and get P all by itself. So they're multiplying by 7/9. We're going to divide by 7/9 on both sides. 7/9 cancel, leaving you with P equals, we're going to do 35 divided by 7/9. Pretty sure it's 45, but let's see. 35 divided by 7, ABC, 9 equals 45. All right, capital P stands for number of Pokemon cards. So I got, or have, the number of Pokemon cards is 45. Is that what I want? It says, how many Pokemon cards did Ash have originally? So yes, that is what I want. I get to use that as my answer. And I don't have to do any extra work like this. So Ash had 45 Pokemon cards. And hopefully that's enough to win the championship. So, in review, the questions asked two things: write an equation and solve. So we essentially have three things. We have our equation, we have the work for our equation separately, and then we answered it. And keep in mind, you may have to do extra work even after you've answered or solved your equation, because that might not always be your answer. I hope this has helped with writing algebraic equations and solving them based on word problems. If it hasn't, there's a lot of information out there. I hope you find what you're looking for. Y'all have a great day.